Imagine carrying a phone that weighed more than 2 pounds and only let you talk for 30 minutes after charging it for 10 hours. That was the reality back in 1983 when Motorola released the Dynatac 8000X, the first commercially available mobile phone. Nicknamed the Brick for obvious reasons, it was far from portable and cost a mind-boggling $3,995, which would be close to around $11,000 today. People didn't even have texting or apps back then, just the ability to make a phone call. It's hard to believe that such a heavy and limited device would eventually evolve into the sleek, powerful smartphones we carry today. What really makes this crazy? That brick phone weighed more than twice the size of an iPhone and had zero of the features we now rely on daily. It operated on analog networks, which means if you were in the wrong spot, you'd lose signal. Yet, despite its flaws, the Dynatac marked the beginning of the mobile phone revolution. Even with its clunky design, people were willing to pay a fortune for it just to experience mobile communication. As the 1990s rolled in, phones got smaller and more practical. This was the era when flip phones took over. One of the most iconic models was the Motorola StarTAC, which was a huge deal when it came out in 1996. Unlike the bulky bricks, the StarTAC was small enough to fit in your pocket and had a flip-up design that made it feel futuristic. It was also the first phone to include a vibrating alert feature, which seems standard now but was revolutionary at the time. One of the coolest things about flip phones was that they finally made mobile phones feel truly portable. Plus, text messaging was introduced, though it wasn't as common as it became later. But still, sending a text back then was not easy, especially since you had to press a key multiple times to get the letter you wanted. I mean, imagine typing a whole message that way. Frustrating, right? By the early 2000s, candy bar phones started to gain popularity. These phones were rectangular and had the classic number pad on the front. Nokia was the king of this era with phones like the Nokia 3310, which became a global hit. The 3310 wasn't just known for its user-friendliness and long battery life, it was practically indestructible. People joked that if you dropped it, the floor would crack before the phone did. Even to this day, the 310 holds legendary status for its durability. What's even more interesting, while these phones had simple features compared to modern smartphones, they laid the groundwork for the mobile revolution. When Nokia introduced SMS on phones like the 3310, it allowed users to send quick messages, connecting people in ways that weren't possible before. At the same time, Snake took mobile entertainment to the next level. Pre-installed on many Nokia models, Snake became wildly popular, captivating users and proving that phones could be fun. This combination of texting and gaming marked the beginning of a new era, turning phones into indispensable gadgets in our daily lives. The Nokia 1100, another classic, became the best-selling mobile phone ever, with over 250 million units sold worldwide. That's more than the combined sales of most modern smartphones. It really just goes to show how much people craved affordable, reliable mobile technology. When we talk about smartphones, we can't skip the BlackBerry. Back in the early 2000s, BlackBerry was the device for business professionals. What made it so special? Email. Before smartphones became mainstream, BlackBerry was the first to offer mobile email in a big way. People could send and receive emails in real time, making it a game changer for productivity. It was like having a mini office in your pocket. For many, this was the first time they could stay connected with work from anywhere. BlackBerry's QWERTY keyboard was another iconic feature. Typing on the phone felt natural, and it made sending long emails or texts a breeze compared to earlier phones. Well, at the height of its popularity, BlackBerry had over 80 million users worldwide, including major political figures. Even Barack Obama famously insisted on keeping his BlackBerry when he became president. But it wasn't just email. BlackBerry also introduced BlackBerry Messenger, or BBM, which allowed users to send instant messages to each other. BBM was one of the first platforms to offer secure, fast, and free messaging, way before WhatsApp or iMessage ever existed. It became so popular that people started buying BlackBerries just to use BBM. It created a sense of exclusivity, since BBM users could only chat with other BlackBerry owners using a special PIN. What's fascinating is how BBM set the foundation for today's instant messaging apps. The idea of secure, encrypted messaging with features like read receipts and delivery confirmations, which we take for granted today, all started with BBM. It paved the way for the messaging services that billions of people use every day. What really changed the game for smartphones was the introduction of touchscreen interfaces. But everything changed in 2007 when Apple released the first iPhone. Now, before then, smartphones existed, but were mostly business tools with physical keyboards and basic internet access. The iPhone blew everyone's mind by introducing a sleek, touch-based design that was unlike anything we had ever seen before. Suddenly, your pocket wasn't just for calling or texting. It was a tiny computer in your pocket, capable of browsing the web, playing music, taking photos, and more. In its first year, Apple sold over 6 million iPhones, and that was just the beginning. What made the iPhone revolutionary was its multi-touch screen. Instead of clunky buttons, you could swipe and tap with your fingers, and the screen would respond smoothly. The App Store launched in 2008, and it was another game changer. Developers could create apps for anything you could think of: games, productivity tools, social media, and beyond. By 2023, the App Store housed more than 2.2 million apps, covering every aspect of modern life. But here's something most people don't realize. Before the iPhone, Apple almost scrapped the whole project. Early prototypes were clunky, and even Steve Jobs had doubts about whether it would work. Now, the iPhone is one of the best-selling products of all time, having sold over 2.2 billion units worldwide. Not to be outdone, Google launched Android in 2008. This was huge for the industry because, unlike the iPhone, Android was an open-source platform. That meant manufacturers like Samsung, LG, and HTC could create their own smartphones with Android, and soon, Android became the most popular mobile operating system in the world. By 2024, Android held over 71% of the global market share, meaning more than 3 out of 4 phones globally are running Android. Here's something that will blow your mind. The processing power of today's average smartphone is more powerful than the computers used by NASA to land astronauts on the moon back in 1996. The fact that a device in your pocket is more advanced than the systems behind one of humanity's greatest achievements is almost unbelievable. Another key innovation was the arrival of phablets. Phones with larger screens, combining the portability of a phone with the screen size of a tablet. The Samsung Galaxy Note introduced this trend back in 2011, giving users a better experience for tasks like watching movies, browsing, and gaming. The future of smartphones is unfolding, literally. Devices like the Samsung Galaxy Fold and the Huawei Mate X are paving the way for foldable technology. These phones have screens that fold in half, offering a tablet-like experience when opened and a regular-sized phone when closed. It's a glimpse into a future where our devices are more flexible and dynamic. And that's not all. The future of smartphones will likely be defined by advancements in battery technology and 5G connectivity. With 5G already rolling out, internet speeds are about to get 100 times faster than 4G, enabling real-time streaming, augmented reality, AR, and more seamless smart city applications. This is just the beginning. Experts are also working on solid-state batteries, which could drastically extend battery life, making our phones last days or even weeks on a single charge. Looking even further ahead, the lines between smartphones and other tech will blur. With augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR integration, we may not even need physical phones in the future. Smart glasses or holographic displays could replace the handheld devices we use today. Companies like Neuralink are already exploring the possibilities of directly linking our brains to technology. I mean, imagine interacting with a virtual phone that hovers right in front of you without ever pulling out a device. So, where will smartphones take us next? Will they continue to be central to our lives, or will newer technology surpass them altogether? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Join us as we explore more amazing tech stories and innovations that are just around the corner.